All right, God. Because yo here not ready yet. All right. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1. God leading the breath from the other room. Listen, when we have our in-person retreats, like God definitely will be leading some breath work. And I love how he took his workbook and went to his spot. He loved chilling in that wagon and working from there, playing from there, reading from there, workbook from there. He's doing the highlights book. Highlights. If you grew up here in the 90s, highlights. And he's doing the second grade workbook, which is 3 years his senior. So yes, he is 3 years ahead of time. And more in many other areas of life, actually. Anywho, let's continue. Now, yesterday we were talking about Dr. Quimby, right? And the argumentative method. Love it. Just love it. All right, the next section here is the absolute method is like modern sound wave therapy. Many people throughout the world practice this form of prayer treatment with wonderful results. The person using the absolute method mentions the name of the patient, such as John Jones, then quietly and silently thinks of God Jones. Oh, thinks of God and his qualities and attributes, such as God is all bliss, boundless love, infinite intelligence, all powerful, boundless wisdom, absolute harmony, indescribable beauty, and perfection. As he quietly thinks along these lines, he is lifted up in consciousness into a new spiritual wavelength, at which times he feels the infinite ocean of God's love is now dissolving everything unlike itself, right? Dissolving everything unlike itself in the mind and body of John Jones, for whom he is praying. He feels all the power and love of God are now focused on John Jones. And whatever is bothering or vexing him is now completely neutralized in the presence of the infinite ocean of life and love. Now, I wish. Mm, I wish I was there in my heart of hearts to send that love to some people. That like I really would benefit, like being wiped away of the stuff that's in them that's not of God, including self. I could do it for myself though, but the other people, but I could do it for loved ones. The absolute method of prayer might be likened to the sound wave or sonic therapy recently shown me, not even shown to me, recently shown me by a distinguished physician in Los Angeles. He has an ultrasound wave machine which oscillates at a tremendous speed and sends sound waves to any area of the body to which it is directed. These sound waves can be controlled, and he told me of achieving remarkable results in dissolving arthritic calcareous deposits, as well as the healing and removal of other disturbing conditions. He's saying he heard it. He didn't say he saw it or the data or the results or talked to the people. He said he heard it from that person's mouth. So again, I'm not taking everything face value. But I know the power of sound therapy. So I don't have any resistance to this. Just you know, pointing out what may come up for you. To the degree that we rise in consciousness by contemplating qualities and attributes of God, aka Source, do we generate spiritual electronic waves of harmony, health, and peace. Many remarkable healings follow this technique of prayer. All right, now, next section, back to Dr. Phineas. A cripple walks. Dr. Phineas Parkhorse Quimby. Oh, Dr. Phineas is Dr. Quimby. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, I saw it over there, but I thought they were talking about two different people. I see. So Dr. Quimby, whom of whom we spoke previously in this chapter. I when I tell you, I promise you, I do not see the next word. I do not be looking at them. I see them because they're in my line of view, but I don't read them. So it's so funny when I say something and then it say it after. Like, shh, just keep reading. It's gonna say it. All right. So of whom we spoke previously in this chapter, used the absolute method in the latter years of his healing career. He was really the father of psychosomatic medicine. Okay. And the first psychoanalyst. Oh, oh, listen, I love to learn a new pioneer that I didn't know of. Okay. Put me on. Put me on. He had the capacity to diagnose clairvoyantly the cause of the patient's troubles, pains, and aches. Shorty could look at you and I tell you what's going on with you. Okay. Tapped in, tuned in, turned on to source within him and around him. The following is a condensed account of the healing of a cripple. It's of a cripple. It's go crazy. Not a person who couldn't walk, like a cripple. I don't frame people as their conditions. It's not in in college. I mean, in my master's program, when I learned like, okay, when I start working, because I was this close to start working with clients. Like I did over a year and a half of my studies. And it was in Antioch University. And it's all right, God. I already turned it off. Get the pasta. You don't have to if you don't want to. Oh, sure, come through. So the school, what was coming up for me was that I didn't want to call anyone a name, right? I'm not going to say that person is schizophrenic. I'm going to say that person is experiencing schizophrenia, right? That's what logically, emotionally, energetically made sense to me because, and again, this is before I deep dive into like the I am that I am, like, so it's like, what to me, what I had learned so far was that like, you don't want to hold on and claim a diagnosis. I am autistic. I tap into autistic tendencies. My brainwave operates on an autistic spectrum. I've been diagnosed with autism. To me, those are way more empowering than stating and claiming and holding it so close because how do you give yourself room to not have it? And that's the thing. So many people feel like once they have something, there's no going back. Once it's diagnosis, that's is what it is. Like, and to me, it's like, well, the diagnosis comes with its own limited conditions and beliefs, and you could still feel like you resonate with what they're saying, without claiming full throttle what they're saying, and leave room for, if you wanna, if you want to, not being whatever that claim is. And I notice it a lot with parents where it's literally almost the first statement that comes to their mouth about their child as if they're apologizing. The what? Okay. Yeah, I noticed that you went in there to do some more. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Um, and it's almost like they need to jump ahead and give you a reason, give you an excuse, give you an alibi as to why, like, the child is responding or being the way that they are, or why their child is like being sitting there on a device or whatever the case is. And it's like, you don't need to defend nothing or claim something or acknowledge nothing on behalf of me. Not me, because I'm not coming with a judgment. I am coming with a judgment to the screen. I don't business what type of tism, what type of whatever you talking about. Screens all day is not it for no babies. I don't care. Like, I don't business. I don't care. You telling me that don't take away my mind that that baby should not be on the screen this whole time. Right? So it did nothing for me. And then other than that, there's no reason, there's no other judgment coming up for me. I don't care about, like, if they're not responding as I've noticed other children respond, then I notice that they're not responding as that another children responds, and I just move accordingly. I don't need you to let me know that, oh, they have some brain thing going on, so, or hormone thing going on, so they're not going to be like everybody else. I see that. I'm like, I see that with my own eyes. I don't need you, mama. I don't need you, papa. I don't need you, grandma. I don't need you to claim and put that out there as if the person, they can't open up them eyes and see themselves. Like, how present are you not if you don't see that? I've interacted with so many children. I can obviously tell when a child isn't doing like an average, and I'm not going to say normal, but the average response. Are they moving differently? Are they're playing differently? Are they speaking differently? I don't care what they got. They got boom chakalaka. I don't business. Like, it don't matter whatsoever, none at all. So again, for me, I don't need it. I'm not sure what's going on with the rest of the world, but to me, like, the rest of the world, y'all need to get it together too, because why somebody got to feel like they need to acknowledge this quote unquote, it's not always a limitation. It's usually expansive in so many ways, but because the expansiveness is not really known or highlighted, it's like you're more leaning into the lack of it, or limitation, or the victimism of it, or the sadness, or, like, something of it that don't need to be acknowledged. Because shorties don't go around like me. I don't go around just be like, don't mind him. My baby's a genius. Like, you're gonna see that. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna 9 out of 10 comment on that. Like, wow, he speaks so well. That's the favorite one. How old is he? Like, that's the favorite line. And I rarely respond with an age, because one, we don't focus on age. So I say infinite. And then two, like, you're gonna go and start comparing your baby to my baby. And there's no need for it. There's just no need for comparison. If you want to learn, if you want to hear more of what I think you should do, or what I suggest that you do that help me and mine, I'm gonna say it. And then I usually go one liner: read more, talk more. Like, just do more with them. Like, I promise you, like, they'll be doing whatever in no time. It's just that we introduce things way later. We limit them early. I'm coming now, God, and we don't got to do all that. Mm. Well, you don't need to. We don't need to be vegan for you to do that. No, I'm not. You do that. That's the reason that was would not be alone here. You're not at a stage of development where you are able to make that choice. Yeah. So I'm telling you to take a shower. I mean, it's time to take a shower. It doesn't need to be a particular reason other than I'm saying your body would benefit from being clean right now. That's all. Mhm. And hold on, because there's a little camera. No, because we're leaving soon. That's the follow up, right? So it doesn't have to the conditions involved to the shower usually comes with the fact that we're leaving the house or we came in and it's provided. Well, you're doing this so give me that like you take that I needed to air out in here. I usually do it when we leave, but needed it sooner. I needed it, but wanted it sooner. Smelling a little fantastic. Got a huge bag of laundry to do. I want to tell you a story about that. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, my website is like this color. I guess oh my god, unbeknownst to me, like I really mix with this color. Okay, you heard what I said. It is what it is. Read, 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 talk, narrate, describe. Oh wow, look at the tree and it's blowing its leaves. Look at that. Look at the wind blowing the tree's leaves. Yeah. You do that from when they're babies. You don't wait until they could actually talk back or you feel like they can understand you. The subconscious understands from when it's in the womb. Okay? The subconscious is picking up what's being put down since it's been in your belly. Then the actual ears start to hear, I believe it's around month 7 or 8. I'm not sure. I don't recall the exact month, but their ears begin to activate and actually hear you at a certain time in the womb. Start talking, been talking, be mindful of everything that you've got coming in you. Period. All right. Oh, and not phonetics, phonics, the sounds, phonics, right? The pronunciation of the sounds. Okay, I don't recall if A is ah or ah. It's not A. Journal. Ah. There you go. B, B. Right. So the sounds. Now I got a lot of help with the sounds. Yeah, go online, okay? That's the one thing. Having sounds sounding, having the make sure though, because some people do the sound pronunciations and they be doing it inaccurately. Like M instead of it's not M. That's EM. M is right? So, and of course, you doing it is the top tier. Learning from a screen, and we barely did screen. We had the what you call it, Alexa on. So that's how we heard a lot of music and sound and everything. So yeah. And then they're able to pronounce everything. God been talking since his twos, reading since his twos, and really reading since his threes. And of course, in his fours, he outreads your average fifth grader in the United States of America. I just am not aware of the statistics in the other states. That's why I don't claim them. Okay, our countries. But here they wanna come at us, the homeschoolers. Yeah, our homeschoolers is quote unquote smarter, more advanced than the ones that are in school. Okay. Okay. You need to be tested. Yo, you need to be tracked with your. You need to learn from us. All right, listen. So he was clairvoyant. Shout out to him. The following is a condensed account of the healing of a crippled person, a person that was crippled, as recorded in Quimby's manuscripts. Right? You're not homeless because like the earth is your home. I could say I'm, houseless, unhoused. I've been saying houseless, unhoused since I didn't use the word unhoused, but I said houseless since before unhoused came out. Because again, the earth is your home. You literally always have somewhere to live. How can you like? I just like to be so exact with my words. Not everybody loves this. I know business. I am so exact. I want to be as exact as possible with my words. So I love etymology, the definition of things, the roots. Because what that mean? What you really saying? What you really saying when you saying that? You know what you're saying? You know the subconscious implications of what you're saying? Oh, okay. Don't say that around me and mine. Like we don't do the word buddy. I didn't do the root. I looked it up once. I don't recall, but I'm sure Buddy got something. I don't. I'm sure when I look up the word etymology of Buddy, something else gonna be hit me that I don't resonate with. But in Jamaican language, Buddy and Patois, Buddy means, and this one's gonna be for the children, so we're not gonna fully say it, but it's a private part. I'm not your buddy. No. Now you could call me your amigo. You can call me your friend, and really, you're not either any of those, right? If a grown person is talking about what's up, my friend, like I'm not your friend. They're not your friend. They are a child. So how about you just go call them by their names? I don't see why everybody's just avoiding names as if like that's not one of the main identities that a child learns about themselves. Their name. Their name. Like it's one of their first identity anchors. But you want to nickname them or you want to call them something, like yeah, just go somewhere then. Don't talk to us. Like I'm gonna call your child by their name. Nothing else. I'm not going to call them my friend. I'm not going to call them my buddy. I'm not going to call them princess. I'm not going to call, like if I don't know, like sometimes if, I'm not aware of their name, I don't say princess anymore. I say princess warrior because we both. Okay. But yeah, like until I go in and I ask their name, and I teach God to ask their names. Whoever, if you're introducing yourself, you saying your name, you ask the person their name. You want to play with someone, you introduce yourself, you ask them their name. That's what I'm about, son. Like that's how I literally live. So I'm not sure what else I could tell ya. I'm practicing what I preach, and I guess I just preach what I practice, like oh snap, 'Cause there was a time, like especially for personal work, somatics, yoga, breath work, where I wasn't doing it regularly. Yeah, I was sharing the benefits and like, sharing with other people why you want to do it and to do so and all the effects of it. And but with parenting, like I've been practicing what I preach since he's been in my womb. So since before he's went in my womb, I went into trainings so that I could learn, so I could be equipped one day. Like I'm that serious when it comes to subconscious programming, especially children, because 0 to 7, y'all, 0 to 7. 0 to 7, 0 to set. That is the main time frame that we got that then builds the adults that they got to navigate through those beliefs, those conditionings, those programmings about themselves, about the world, about their worth, about what they have access to or not, about what they believe about money, their relationship with money, other people, love, that like so much food, everything is all programmed between 0 and 7. So I don't take that lightly. Let's just say that. How we got here? Shouldn't even want to call somebody else grandma, like rude. Quimby was called on to visit a woman who was lame, aged, and bedridden. That is too funny. Because lame doesn't mean like lame, but that's not funny. I'm not gonna call nobody lame no more. Because it mean this, like, and that's OD to be calling you lame when it mean this, right? Lamed, aged, and bedridden. You really cannot be fixing your mouth to say, yo, that's lame. Because do you see what lame means? Nah, you gotta be careful with that mouth, yo. Cuidado, cuidado. I'm not. He states that her ailment was due to the fact that she was imprisoned by a creed, right? A belief, a value so small and contracted that she could not stand upright and move about. She was living in the tomb of fear and ignorance. Furthermore, fear and ignorance, baby. Two peas in a pod. Ooh, ooh, two peas in the pod. Um, Furthermore, she was taking the. I'm thinking like, how disrespectful do I get during this call? You know, I be mad disrespectful on IG in my stories. This ain't what you do. It's not like I'm gonna be differente. I'm just choosing the level of disrespect. She was taking the Bible literally. Let me look up to the camera like they say to look up. If you know what I'm thinking, then you know what I'm thinking. And that's where we're gonna end that right there. Okay. We're not gonna harbor. We're not gonna harbor on that. Okay. Okay. And it frightened her. In this tomb, Quibi said, was the presence and power of God trying to burst the bands, break through the bonds, and rise from the dead. When she would ask others for an explanation of some passage of the Bible, the answer would be a stone. Then she would hunger for the bread of life. Dr. Quimby diagnosed her case, as a mind cloudy and stagnated. Dude, ooh, shout out to I remember my sister, my brain fog, mind being cloudy and stagnated. Ooh, due to excitation and fear caused by the inability to see clearly the meaning of the passage of the Bible which she had been reading. This showed itself in the body by her heavy and sluggish feeling, which would terminate as paralysis. At this point, Quimby asked her what was meant in the Bible verses. Yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Ye shall seek me and shall not find me. And where I am, thither ye cannot come. John 7:33-34. She replied that it meant Jesus went to heaven. Quimby explained what it really meant by telling her that being with her a little while meant his explanation of her symptoms, feelings, and their causes. For example, he had compassion and sympathy for her momentarily, but he could not remain in that mental state. The next step was to go to him that sent us, which, as Quimby pointed out, was the creative power of God in all of us. Quimby immediately traveled in his mind and contemplated the divine ideal, the vitality, intelligence, harmony, and power of God functioning in the sick person. This is why he said to the woman, therefore, where I go, you cannot come. For you are in your narrow, restricted belief, and I am in hell. This prayer and explanation produced an instantaneous sensation, and a change came over her mind. She walked without her crutches. Quimby said it was one of the most singular of all his healings. She was, as if it were, dead to error, and to bring her life or truth was to raise her from the dead. Quimby quoted the resurrection of Christ and applied it to her own Christ or health. This produced a powerful effect on her. right? What brought you into it? Baby, you have to shift gears to get you out. He also explained to her that the truth, which she accepted, was the angel or idea which rolled away the stone of fear, ignorance, and superstition, thereby releasing the healing power of God, which made her whole. I like it like this. Do 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 do. I like it like this. Do 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 do. I like it like this. Do 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 do. You call me God? You scrub that booty? Oh, and keep the water on because I'm gonna come in there and support you. As not you showered after you poo pooed and then scrub your booty too. What are you doing? Yeah. I would love to know. Inquire. I want to inquire about your shower time, my dear. What's going on in here? All right, the decree method. Power goes into our word according to the feeling and faith behind it. When we realize the power and that moves the world is moving on our behalf and is backing up our word, our confidence and assurance grow. You do not try and add power to power. Therefore, there must be no mental striving, coercion, force, or mental wrestling. A young girl used the decree method on a young man who was constantly phoning her, pressing her for dates, and meeting her at her place of business. She found it very difficult to get rid of him. She decreed as follows: I release unto God. He is in his true place at all times. I am free and he is free. And I decree that my words go forth into infinite mind and it brings it to pass. It is so. She said that he vanished and she had never seen him since, adding, it was as though the ground swallowed him up. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. What is it, Job or Job? 22:28. Job is hilarious. Tell me it's Job. Or tell me it's Job, and this is what Job really mean. Okay. Etymology of Job. That'd be one I'd look up if I were interested. We don't use that word in this house. Like, good job, great job. You don't know what a job is. You are, excuse me, we don't use the word that no. You are not aware of what a job is. You don't got no jobs, not doing no jobs, right? Chores are not jobs. Nothing is a job. You stay so far away from the job world. You're free to do what they call them internships and work experiences and work, right? But jobs? No, no. Serve yourself with scientific truth. Be a mental engineer and use tried and proven techniques in building a grander and greater life. Oh, yeah, number one. Mhm. And then number two, your desire is your prayer. Picture the fulfillment of your desire now and feel its reality. And you will experience the joy of the answered prayer. Ooh-wee. All right. Then the next chapter is going to be the other. Yeah, so the part you heard it. The other 10. Yeah, the other 10 key parts of the chapter 6 that he wants to highlight. And then we're shifting into chapter 7. The tendency of the subconscious is life word. All right. All right. Now I have been slackeando when it comes to posting the pages the night before. And I'm gonna pick it back up today. We did this early enough, right? We're not here 10, 11 o'clock at night. Oh, and I wanna let go, let you down, let you, let you. All right, do your EFT, right? Your somatics, psychosomatics, right? Get into your mind, get into your body. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. Right. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. Yeah, hasta mañana. Ating banana. Ating banana. Hasta mañana. The banana thing comes from this is it Danny Go? Yeah, it's a Danny Go song. We a Danny Go house. Put this heat on, close these windows, wash God's booty. Yeah. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. The next series add-ons, 825. Onward and upward. Peace, 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 love, 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 prosperity.